Hello and welcome to the Ice Forum here in Duluth, Georgia. We're bringing you the Deep South's coldest rivalry. I'm Reilly O'Neill, joined alongside Nick Eriksen. Nick, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Great day for hockey.
A great day for hockey. Friday was a great day for hockey indeed. Georgia came out on top in that matchup 9-2, and a lot of that was credit to Evan Moore. He started out hot, had a goal early, and then finished with 2 goals on the day. How important is it for Coach Camp, Nick, in this program to have a newcomer like Moore and some of these other newcomers on the squad get started hot early?
Look, it's always going to be a boost when you have youth on your side. The mobility and the speed of a lot of these newcomers have really changed the game of hockey.
Yeah.
And for Georgia, these guys have been fueling their 4-0-2 record. So they're looking to carry this momentum into this game against Auburn.
Yeah, they want to stay undefeated, but for you, what are the keys and advantages for Georgia to get a win today and continue that 5-0-2 record going into next week?
It's definitely going to have to be goaltending. They were really solid last couple days ago on Friday. Tassino had a great game. As long as they keep good defense, good goaltending in the slot, they're going to be able to have opportunities up the ice.
Well, you heard it from us. Let's hear it from Coach Camp. Our very own Rin Grimsley caught up with him pregame. Rin?
Hello, everybody. I'm Rin. Friday, 9-2 win. What do you do to this team, and what do you say to them so that they don't get complacent and come out strong?
Well, we got to. It's always start fast. I mean, I don't want to see them being a little bit lackadaisical. You know, it's a morning game coming off a football Saturday. So one of the challenges we have is taking responsibility. You know, you want to play hockey at this level. That responsibility needs to become ready to play, and the best way is to show up in that first shift and set the pace for the following shifts to keep pushing the puck and controlling the zone.
Absolutely, and I've had a lot of new guys on this team making a lot of big plays. What's impressed you the most so far about these new guys on the team?
They've blended in pretty quick, and I give a lot of the credit to the team because a lot of it becomes cultural at first, making sure that they feel comfortable. Number one, being on the team, and then number two, having the returning players working with them, because we only get to practice a couple times a week at most. So it's like instilling those systems may be different from where they played prior. So making sure that they have a clear understanding. A lot of that happens from just the sidebar talks that our captains have with those players, and they've really gained their confidence and they're taking off right now.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach, and good luck out there today.
Thank you, Rin. Thank you, Coach Camp. Well, the Ice Dawgs are still warming up behind us, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll join you back on the live stream in just a moment.
Hello and welcome. Will Hopkins alongside Ren Grimsley as we're just about ready for hockey. Game 2 of this weekend set between the Ice Dawgs and the Auburn Tigers. Dogs winning 9-2 on Friday, looking for a clean sweep here today. And Ren, what are you going to be watching for?
Yeah, like we talked about with Campy before the game, just not getting complacent if you're this Georgia team. A big 9-2 victory on Friday, having a nice weekend. This Auburn team likely to come out hot. Georgia scored 4 goals in the first 8 minutes of the game on Friday. So Auburn probably going to take several shots early on, try and keep it tied up. But yeah, that's what I've been looking for.
Yeah, Coach Kemp wanted a quick start, and he certainly got it. Hopefully the Dogs can do the same. Starting, it'll be Bill Martin and Truman Hagen in defense. The forwards will be Robbie Whitworth, Dan Bardo, and Jake Green. And in net will be number 31, Ryan Testino. After a great performance from Isaac Hagen on Friday, they turned to Testino, who was 1-1 in 2 starts against Auburn last year. And we are underway with the Dogs winning the opening faceoff. Icing is waved off as the puck enters the Auburn zone. Behind the net, Auburn trying to work their way out, but they can't. Shot from the point, just wide from Hagen. Dogs able to keep the zone. Now a shot from the other point, takes a deflection over back of the net. Auburn trapped in their own zone. We saw a ton of that on Friday. And now they're able to finally work their way out with Brooks Franklin on this right wing. He gets bumped into the boards by Hagen. Puck goes all the way back around where Hagen is able to retrieve it. But a good forecheck here from Franklin to try to keep this play alive in the dog zone. Green up the right side to Bardo, who mishandles. Auburn sends it deep into the Georgia zone as both teams go for changes. It's now Moore, Conway, and Parente on the ice for the Dogs as Conway fans on it. Luckily finds a Georgia stick and now out of the zone. Evan Moore sends it in as Parente tries to fight behind the net, loses out though, and now Auburn clears their zone before Gannon sends it right back the other way. On this left wing, Conway has it taken away, and now here comes the super speedy Callan Daly. Daly on the left wing, looking for a centering pass. Good defense there from Gannon. Big hit on this right side by Evan Moore as Gannon retains the puck. Scoreless in the first minute and a half. Auburn barely lasted that long without giving up a goal on Friday. As a defensive play from Nair breaks things up as Georgia was trying to spark an attack, and now the speedy Daly yet again. Daly and Fleet broken up today as there's a shot out front. Good job by Testino with some traffic. That pass it in the skate of Gannon. And now coming the other way is Fleet. He fires a shot off the chest of Testino. Good save. But that pass goes awry, and Auburn keeping this pressure in the zone. Good couple of shifts from the Tigers. Behind the net now. Catalano with it. Trying to work his way towards the slot. Can't get there, though. Good defense from the Dogs as they work it up the right side. Bailey with it. And the Dogs score! Pass out in front to Mazzaros, and the Dogs are on the board just 2.5 minutes into this one.
And that was a beautiful Bailey to Mazzaros connection there. On that first line, 2 of the guys who are some of the top scorers on this team so far this season. Obviously missing their other member, Alex Laracy, on that top line. Good to see them getting production early on. One thing I want to see from both these teams is settling it down, getting in the offensive zone, as that'll produce more goals.
4th assist of the year for Bailey, 3rd goal for Mazzaros. As Knoll, the new member of that line, gets things started well after the faceoff. Faceoffs highly in Georgia's favor on Friday. Would love similar result here as there's a shot on net from about mid-ice to enter the zone. Physical play early on. Georgia the more physical team on Friday. Auburn trying to send a message. Stretch pass to Bailey. Leaves it for Knoll. He fires. Save made by McMaster. Knoll still has it though. Shot out in front. And that puck looks like it will be frozen. Still no whistle though yet. And now finally a whistle as it looked like defenseman Charlie Kemner was just sitting on the puck.
Another really great transition opportunity for the Ice Dawgs there. As I sort of hinted at a minute ago, neither team has really been able to set up in their offensive zone. There's been a lot of missed passes, whiffed passes. I think a chance right here for the Dogs to just settle it down, get some passes, and get a nice shot.
Face off in Auburn zone for the Dogs, already leading 1-0. And it's a face-off win for the Dogs, but Bailey unable to control the puck, and now here comes Auburn the other way. Georgia knows they have to be wary of the odd man rushes. Auburn's speed definitely their best trait. As Knoll flips in, directly behind McMaster, off the boards and then the net. Sent around, and now Auburn coming the other way. Good poke to keep it away from Franklin. Now Auburn enters the zone, but it only finds a stick of Graham Baird. His partner Poole with it behind the net as Georgia looks to set up the breakout. We talked about Zach Knoll on that top line, taking over for Laracy, not in the lineup today. Wyatt McAvoy replacing Zach Knoll on that third line. Didn't see McAvoy on Friday. Maybe we'll see some more Brandon Ing as well after an assist and a goal in Friday. This game saw some more time after Dan Bardo's game misconduct as Auburn flips it in. A game misconduct for Jordan Pacuris of Auburn as well, but both those guys in their respective lineups today. Back and forth early on, like you said, neither team really with organized zone time. As Auburn has to touch up, and so Truman Hagen will take the puck. Sends it D to D to Bill Martin, back to Hagen, and now Hagen up the right side to Punzenberger. Eberle with it now. He has it poked away. Had McAvoy on that far side, who now comes to try to keep it in and does so successfully. Punzenberger fighting on that far wall, putting up a great fight. Hagen was asking for it, but Punzenberger lost just before he could make the pass. Daly sends it in, and he'll go for a change, as will his line mates and the Dogs while they're at it. That pass just behind Jay Green, and that'll go for an icing.
Right now, some strong forechecking by the Auburn Tigers. However, they need to limit transition opportunities that the Dogs are getting so far. Already seen one goal and a couple of really good other opportunities, and they seem to be getting a lot of turnovers as soon as the Dogs get it into their offensive zone. So I think limiting those transitions is really key for the Tigers.
Yep, those transitions with Daly and Fleet, they were on the same line on Friday, split up today by Coach Ryan Rutz, trying to make a more balanced attack for Auburn, but like we said on Friday, two of the only 6 returning top 6 point scorers for Auburn last year. Something to keep an eye on as Punzenberger looks to break out, gains the red line, and now gains the zone. Had Green out in front instead, opted for the shot, whistles by the ear of McMaster. And now Fleet coming the other way. The speedy Fleet has his shot sticked away by Testino, excuse me. And now into the glove of Testino, off the stick of Fleet for a whistle.
And that's another one where I think that we could have, or the Tigers could have looked for a pass there, rather than trying to take a shot from the blue line. Maybe look and see where they can get the best opportunity. Now another face-off in the zone.
And Auburn leading in the shot department 5-4, a big change from what we saw on Friday, and now make that 6-4. Another save from Testino off the pad. Jake Green skates away from a defender and hits the puck into the zone. Gannon trying to keep it, but can't do so off that puck in the air. Green, some great stick handling. Sends the puck in as Bardo chases after. Gannon keeps it in the zone. Green was looking for Whitwer. Green, Bardo, and Whitwer, the forwards on the ice right now, along with Luke Burnett and Jack Gannon in defense. Gannon flips it in, did not gain the red line, and that'll be an icing. These guys that have been on the ice for a decent amount of time and will have to stay out there.
Yeah, and that's big for Auburn, especially as this line with Whitwer, Bardo, and Green, not really known for their offense, more of a defensive line there. Maybe Auburn can get a chance here now with a tired line.
So Conway actually had gone in for Bardo, but still Whitwer and Green have been on the ice for a long time. As fanning on that one was Pacuris. Dogs bench liking that. Fight behind the net as Dogs were in the process of changing, and now an icing from the Tigers.
And not what Auburn wanted now as they're back in their offensive zone. It's been a lot of back and forth still. However, some opportunities able to come once they've settled down for both teams, honestly. And I think that's really important, as I've been harping on so far this game.
Face-off won by the Tigers, and they clear the zone. A race towards that red line. The linesman gets in the way that time of the speedy Callan Daly, and so the Dogs win the race.
And I'm really interested in this Leighton Poole and Graham Baird defensive line. Poole looking really good offensively with 4 assists already this season.
Yeah, came into Friday's game leading the team before he was overtaken from a 3-assist performance by Evan Parente, who's up to 5 now on the season. Dangerous puck out in front. Dogs unable to get a stick to it. Great keep, though, at the point by Parente. Trying to keep the puck in that Auburn zone with Conway battling behind the net. Finds Parente. He shoots. Good save by McMaster. Conway fanned on his attempt off the rebound. And now Auburn clears the zone as far as Leighton Poole, who passes to his partner Baird and back to Poole. Baird with it now. Flips it in. Parente chasing after it. And Auburn whistles that one into their own bench.
That was a great glove save by McMaster there, as it was a 1-on-0 with Parente. Parente, such a strong shot, really good shot, but a great save by McMaster. Huge confidence builder, not just for McMaster, who had somewhat of a tough game on Friday, but for this team to keep it within 1, not let Georgia get far away.
Mazzaros wins the draw for the Dogs. Graham Baird on the left side into the Auburn logo on McMaster's chest. Dogs able to keep it in the zone. Big check into the back of Graham Baird. Some extended zone time the last couple minutes for the Dogs. Auburn struggling to clear the zone. A big hit on that right side. Guys are getting into it for the second game in a row. Pacuris' helmet comes off. That chin strap might need to be a little tighter as the puck hits the ceiling.
And yeah, we saw some aggression on Friday. And then after that football game, I'm sure today, even more anger between these two teams.
Especially for Auburn.
Especially for Auburn. This is the Deep South's coldest rivalry, after all.
Georgia winning on the gridiron yesterday, 31-13. 9-2 on the ice Friday. Now 1-0 on the ice so far here today. 11:45 left in the opening period. Truman Hagen with that long pass across to Ryan Bailey. He can't corral it. And now Auburn coming the other way. Brooks Franklin fighting in the corner. Big hit from Mazzaros. And he comes away with the puck. He's getting smacked over there in that far corner. Puck comes to Hagen. Looking for help from a teammate, and he gets it from Bill Martin. Dogs coming the other way with Knoll. Stick handles, was looking for a teammate in Bailey, but that pass just behind him. Eberle gloves it down. The Dogs will take a second to reset. Great move from Hagen. Puck evades him just a little bit, though. Battle on these near boards. Auburn content to just send it in deep. Rung around to Punzenberger. He takes a shot, but Eberle has the puck for the Dogs as they enter the zone. Eberle leaves it behind for a shot off the boards. McMaster might have got a piece. Eberle has Punzenberger waiting for the slap shot. Instead opts for McAvoy. McAvoy back to Eberle. Eberle looking for Punzenberger out front. Just missed his stick. A good shift, though, for that line, as Gannon sends it back forward, and Eberle retrieves off the boards. Midway point of the first period. Dogs leading the Tigers 1-0. Eberle dekes around the defenseman, looks for a centering pass just beyond McAvoy. Great shift from McAvoy, Punzenberger, and Eberle, though. But Auburn could have a chance going the other way. A 2-on-1, great hustle from Gannon to try to get back, and that's gobbled up by Testino.
Yeah, 1-0 here. To put into perspective, this game on Friday, at this point in the game, was already 4-0 Dogs. So Auburn's come out a lot stronger defensively. Still looking to get a goal here.
Auburn 7 shots, Georgia 6 shots, and the shot department wasn't competitive on Friday, so definitely some improved play from the Tigers. As the Dogs win the draw, can't quite clear the zone though. The battle out in front, and the Dogs come away with it with Whitwer, who gets to touch off Green to wave off offsides. Bardo on the forecheck with some help from Jake Green, and the Dogs are able to keep the puck in the zone. No icing here, but a race for the puck that's won by Auburn, and Brent Tinchert looking for help, gets it from Dubé. And now a whistle for the puck hitting the ceiling.
Somewhat of a low ceiling here. It made a big boom as it hit it. Still looking to get some more shots. A lot of these shots for both teams, obviously in terms of numbers, they're very similar, but some of the shots coming from the blue line that just don't really have much of a chance to make it into the goal unless you expect to get a tip, which against Testino will be tough.
Condon loses out to Bardo on the draw, but Auburn quickly retrieves it. And now Georgia able to clear the zone with Gannon. Gannon stick handling his way through the zone towards the face-off circle. Dogs trying to make something happen out in front, but stymied by the Auburn defense as Testino sticks it to the corner. And the Dogs regain the puck. A deke move, a weak shot off the side of the net on the rebound from Gannon. Dogs keep it in though with Parente. Looking for Conway. That's going to be waved off for icing, but an easy retrieval for the Dogs as Gannon goes for a change. Baird and Poole, the defensive pairing now, as Parente sends it into the far corner. Evan Moore with it. Parente out in front, saved by McMaster, and we have a whistle.
And there have been several times this game, the Ice Dawgs working it down, really great stick handling. We saw Jack Gannon there just a minute ago. We saw Andrew Knoll before that. Really great stick handling, but unable to find the connecting pass to get the shot off. That one a few minutes ago going off the side of the net. Really great opportunity, just got to bury that one.
More Conway and Parente out there for the Dogs. Parente rings it around the boards. Baird at the point trying to keep it in. Instead, Auburn goes aerially and once again hits the ceiling. Third time so far.
Ceiling seems to be getting lower every time they hit it.
Really not high at all.
No, I believe the ceiling at the other rink they played on at Friday was slightly taller.
Still not very high either, though. Offensive zone face-off won by the Dogs as Parente banks it off the far boards. Conway in a battle in the corner. Parente corrals the loose puck, wraps around the net, out in front. Dogs can't get a stick to it. Slap shot from the point as Poole didn't get all of it. And Auburn goes the other way. Brooks Franklin has been on the puck a ton for the Tigers so far. The opposing number 10, Leighton Poole, with it though. Centerman Conway dekes around one defenseman. A clean entry. Pass across to Parente and a good defensive stick by Patillo. Out in front, a chance for the Dogs, a loose puck behind the net as McMaster lost his stick, has a teammate give it to him. Defenseman also without a stick. Auburn all over the place, but they get away with it as Jake Fleet comes the other way. On his backhand, misses the net, a good defensive play by Leighton Poole. Poole and Fleet still battling back there. Conway comes to help out. And now Evan Moore coming the other way, was looking for Parente, but he was headed to the bench for a change. Battle between the benches. And a delayed penalty on the Tigers as Testino leaves his net. The Tigers touch up, and it'll be a power play for the Dogs, the first of the night.
And one thing I think that the Auburn Tigers have been doing really well this game, and that they're going to have to stick to, especially on this penalty kill right here, is collapsing into the crease and taking away an angle for a Georgia player to get any sort of shot off, making them shoot from outside rather than trying to come up close on the goalie and get a potential 1-on-0.
The Dogs go with 2 defensemen and 3 forwards on this first power play. Had 1 power play goal on Friday. First penalty for either side so far. Dogs working it around patiently. Poole to Hagen. Hagen to Bailey. Bailey to Poole, has his pass blocked, right back to him though. Bailey on that far side. Nolan Mazzaros the other forwards. Hagen doesn't get a lot of wood on that. Battle out in front, glove down by Auburn, and now a chance short-handed as Callan Daly's 1-on-0 and misses. Fires high and wide of Testino, and now the Dogs headed back the other way. 1:10 remaining on this first power play. Hagen with Daly right behind him, does well to spin away. Bailey with it now, looking cross ice to the defenseman Poole. Mazzaros with it behind the net. And the Dogs turn it over. Auburn clearing out. Dubé has no help though, and he'll send it in and go for a change, as do the Dogs. New set of forwards on the ice. A giveaway from Hagen though, and that's going to kill a few more precious seconds as this power play approaches 30 seconds remaining. Dogs looking to increase their lead to 2 as Conway takes it all by himself through a couple of defenders. Parente over to Gannon. Gannon surveying. Has Conway to his right. Instead goes to his left to Evan Moore. Moore to Gannon. Gannon back to Moore. Moore fires. Save made by McMaster. Puck out in front and they score! Parente with the pass out in front, and I believe it was number 17, Wyatt McAvoy, who put it home, and that's his first goal as an Ice Dawg.
And as you saw there, off the rebound, off the save from McMaster, sometimes when, especially a really hard shot like that from Evan Moore, sort of stuns the goalie a little bit, can't locate it, and if it bounces around inside the crease, Dogs able to net one home right as the power play expired.
McAvoy in the lineup today after not being in the lineup Friday, making his presence felt, and Parente picking up right where he left off. A hat trick of assists on Friday, puts his total to 6 now with that one here today. 2-0 Dogs lead, just under 4 minutes to go in the opening period as Testino sticks it to the corner. Parente and Conway still out here as they were at the end of that power play. Conway with it, out in front, and a goal from Evan Moore. 2 goals in quick succession as Evan Moore slots it top corner.
Really great patience by Moore there. As soon as he got the pass, instead of immediately trying to go for a one-timer, he waits for just a split second, and as McMaster is coming from his left to his right, he goes top on the opposite way that McMaster was coming, unable to get a glove on it. Just a really great play there by the Dogs right after getting up 2-0 to extend this lead 3-0.
Evan Moore's 3rd goal of the weekend. 5th of the season. And the Dogs now starting to exert their dominance a little bit. Looking the better team at the end of this first period. Poole gives to Moore. Moore trying to dance around the defenseman Gladstein. Now a fight behind the net. Conway doesn't have much help back there. And Auburn's able to clear the zone. A big hit right in front of us. Now coming the other way. Shot fired. Save made by Testino off the stick of Dubé.
Testino had some really big saves, especially on that breakaway when the Dogs were on the power play. Just able to get his body out in front of it and made Daly miss a little and go wide. Huge to not give up a goal, especially when you're on the power play.
Testino looking good so far, just like Hagen did on Friday. Dogs with the defensive zone win. As Poole sends it over to Moore. Moore, little give and go from Conway as the puck leaves the zone and Poole sends it back in, but Conway's got to touch up. D from Auburn between Good and Patillo. Pass goes awry and the Dogs take back over and neutralizes Brandon Ing on for his first shift of the game. Had a goal and an assist on Friday and limited playing time, really making the most of his time. And talking to Coach, his favorite thing about Brandon Ing is his speed, and that is always on show when he's on the ice. A speedster for sure. Battle in the neutral zone. High stick called by the official. Hagen's not going to touch it. Is anybody on Auburn? Finally, somebody does, and we continue playing. Another shot right into the midsection of Testino. This one off the stick of Duchemin.
Still 2 minutes to go in this first period. Been quite a long first period. Auburn, just for momentum's sake and for the mentality going into the locker room, be huge to get a goal here.
Or at the least, not give up another goal.
Absolutely.
Georgia wins the defensive zone draw, and now the speedy Ing able to show it off with the puck. Goes to Punzenberger, back to Ing, can't handle it, and he gets rocked up high. Took a shoulder to the head. He's back to his feet, though, as another save made by Testino. Big shot in the corner, a little bit of revenge for that hit on Ing. Punzenberger on the breakout now. Battle in that far corner with Worcester. And it looks like the Dogs are going to get whistled for a penalty. Now some extracurriculars near that Auburn bench. We saw some of that on Friday. But Bill Martin quickly pushed away by the official to keep things from getting out of control. So Punzenberger heads to the box for 2 minutes for tripping. 1:33 left in the period, and then 27 seconds of carryover into the second, barring an Auburn goal here in the first.
If the math is correct, and that seems to be what it is.
Official having some fun with a young fan over here hitting the boards. First power play for Auburn. Bardo, Martin, Gannon, and Hagen on the kill for the Dogs. Truman Hagen rings it around, but saved at the point by Auburn. Wrist shot wide. And now Bardo able to clear it all the way down the ice. 1:15 left in the period. Now 1:40 left in the power play. 3-0 Dogs lead. Auburn on the breakout to Runchi. Hagen with a good spinning clear. Send things back down the ice. 1 minute to go in this first period. Ryan Good, the defenseman, with the puck behind McMaster. As Auburn tries to make something happen. Another good stick from Hagen. And the Dogs might have a chance shorthanded as Parente is working 1-on-2, instead opts to kill some more clock and circle back to his defenseman. Probably a wise play. 30 seconds left as the Dogs go for a partial change. And now Hagen, the last man from the original kill, to come off the ice as Gannon comes on. 20 seconds left. Auburn working it across with Catalano. Catalano with Fleet on that far side. Always got to be careful of him. 5 seconds remaining. Auburn looking to get a shot off, but instead the pass goes awry, leaves the zone, and that will do it for the first period. The Dogs have a little bit of a penalty kill to finish up when we come back for the second, but after one, it's 3-0. Good guys on top.
Game on Friday, 9-2.
Hello and welcome back to the Ice Forum here in Duluth, Georgia. Riley O'Neill and Nick Eriksen along with you in the booth. It's Will Hopkins and Grimsley bringing you UGA Hockey. The Ice Dawgs started out hot, going up 3-0, but Auburn's had a couple of shots on goal, but Testino's been there to block them all.
Yeah, you know, Auburn's shots haven't been quality shots. I've kind of noticed that they've just been throwaway shots. Auburn knows that they can't play an up-and-down game with Georgia, the youth being a big fuel factor for the speed of the game, and as long as the defense side keeps up, Georgia shouldn't have a problem going through.
Let's flip the puck and look at the offensive side. Talk about Georgia coming out on top 3-0. How do they continue that momentum, Nick?
Again, Moore showing up for his team.
How about him?
Again, it fueled by the youth, and you know, we've been talking about this. As long as Georgia keeps solid in the defensive zone, creating offensive drives, we shouldn't have an opportunity going the rest of the way.
There we go. Well, we're going to bring you UGA Hockey starting the second period in just a moment. But before that, Grimsley, our very own, caught up with Robbie Whitworth, captain of the team. Ren?
Hello, everybody. I'm Grimsley. I'm here with
Welcome back for the second period of play. Will Hopkins and Grimsley. Dogs leading it 3-0 behind goals from Josh Mazzaros, Evan Moore, and Wyatt McAvoy. Assists from Ryan Bailey, Declan Conway, Evan Parente, and Jack Gannon. Looking at the goaltenders for Testino, it was 11 saves on 11 shots, and for McMaster, 9 saves on 12 shots. What did you see in that first period?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I noticed, as you were just saying, 3 different goal scorers and a whole bunch of assists from a lot of guys. I mean, this really is a team that's been working together really well. I think they've been clicking offensively. Obviously, 3 goals this first period, 9 goals on Friday. I think keeping that going is going to be a huge part of the success for this team. And then Auburn just needs to take advantage of the opportunities when they get them. They had a couple of breakaway chances that they weren't able to score on. And I think also for them getting some other guys, obviously you got Fleet, you got Daly, they're really good goal scorers and they're really good players. Seeing some other guys join in as well on the fun be huge for them.
27 seconds left for the Dogs to kill this first power play for Auburn. And yeah, like you said, this is such a deep team, and they've really showed they don't need to rely too heavily on any one guy. So 27 seconds left in the Auburn power play as they win the faceoff as we begin the second period of play as Duchemin throws on the brakes. Fight on the boards. Franklin over there to try to help him. Bardo battling with him. Bardo gets the puck. Can't clear the zone though. Kept in at the blue line by Patillo, who rings it around. 5 seconds to go on this power play as McMaster slams his stick. A shot blocked by Martin. Auburn keeping it in the zone as the Dogs get Ing out of the box. Or excuse me, Punzenberger was coming out of the box, went to the bench immediately for the speedy Ing. So the Dogs kill it. They scored on their lone power play. Bardo enters the zone, has his shot blocked. And Ing sends it to keep it back in the zone, but he's forechecking all by himself, at least for now. Eberle skates across the ice to put some pressure on Auburn, and now Ing's back on it. Punzenberger up the near side, has Eberle skating to his left, finds him, And no goal. Looked like Eberle didn't get good wood on it, had an empty net staring him in the face. Definitely one he'll want to have back, but the Dogs try to continue with the pressure on the forecheck.
That's one that's got to hurt so much. It's basically an empty goal. McMaster unable to get over, but just a tough break for Eberle.
Eberle lays a big hit on, now has the puck skating towards the middle of the zone, looking for McAvoy behind the net, banks it off the boards. Eberle to Gannon. Gannon goes aerially to Eberle, finds Punzenberger. Auburn retains the puck and Duchemin clears the zone. Gannon looking to get things going back for the Dogs. He finds McAvoy looking for his second goal of the game, and he has it. Slotted past McMaster, and the Dogs start the second period just like they played in the first, on top.
McAvoy, who didn't play on Friday, making his presence known here, as that is his second goal of the game, as you said. And still just great teamwork by this team. A great pass by Jack Gannon to get it into the zone. And McAvoy able to net that one. As the Dogs extend their lead 4-0 early in the second period.
And the fact that you can have someone who wasn't in the lineup on Friday come in and score 2 goals, that just shows how deep this team is, right?
Absolutely. Fresh legs as well.
Great point. Some of these guys playing on Friday not quite as well rested as he is. The Dogs are immediately back in the Auburn zone with Evan Moore. Poole with it at the point. To Parente, dangerous pass out in front. And McMaster didn't know where it was off the stick of Baird, but it seems like he had it covered.
Probably the best save we've seen from McMaster this game. Able to get across the crease so quickly and get that one right in his midsection.
Seems like that's the strategy early here in the second, to work it out wide, and then either those centering passes or cross-ice passes as Parente's shot whistles wide. Auburn content to just send the puck the other way, not really an organized breakout. Now a whistle for offsides.
Georgia seeming to take the approach now of just taking some shots. They think that if they just take more and more, that eventually they'll get by McMaster. Auburn needs to take advantage of that, however. Maybe if more shots, they can get some more opportunities heading the other way and not allow Georgia to have a whole lot of time in their zone.
Face-off won by Auburn with Cronin. As Fleet's out there. But the Dogs quickly get the puck. Conway working it the other way. Skates around a defenseman. Crashing down was Poole, but the pass between him and Parente. Conway off the boards behind the net to Moore. He was looking for the defenseman Baird, who had come up. Now Conway with it. Conway cycles it to Parente. Big hit from Evan Moore in the corner, and I think he's going to get penalized for interference.
And it's been a fairly clean game overall. Only 2 power plays, 1 for each team now. It's Evan Moore going back in. So another chance to see Auburn's power play. See if they can move the puck around and really set up a shot that they think they can make on Testino, who hasn't really allowed any sort of close calls or anything on him.
So the Dogs back on the kill. Killed 1 penalty at the end of the first, bleeding into the second. If you're Auburn, you definitely have to take advantage here.
Oh, absolutely. If you want a chance, even just mentally, getting one in can be huge, and it can really keep the momentum going. Even if you don't think you can win this game, which obviously there's still plenty of hockey to go, but even then, just going on throughout the season, just knowing what you're able to do.
Poole, Baird, Mazzaros, and Bailey the killers for the Dogs, as the puck comes to the point in Daly. Daly out on this top power play unit this time, wasn't on the first power play, and he's got a lot of space here. Fires, save made by Testino. Fleet loses the puck. 2 Auburn players go for it, and now one loses an edge. That was Ryan Good. And the Dogs have a leak out the other way, looking for Mazzaros just beyond him. McMaster paddles it away. The speedy Daly working it into the Georgia zone. 1:15 left on this power play. Deflection out in front over Testino's net. Dogs trying to kill some time in the corner. Leighton Poole battling behind the net. He gets some help from Mazzaros, who clears it all the way down and around, and Ryan Bailey's there to fight for it. More time coming off this power play. 50 seconds remaining now. Swung right back down the ice from Tyler Stewart. Good forecheck from the Dogs, even on the kill, not making it easy for Auburn to gain the zone or even leave their own zone. And with that good pressure, the Dogs get the puck in deep, and the only man chasing after it is in a cream jersey. It's Robbie Whitwer, the captain, doing a great job of just buying some time behind the net. He's all alone over there, knows how valuable it is to kill some time. Another slip from an Auburn skater. Puck in behind the net for Tyler Stewart. And now Whitwer sends it down the ice. Auburn players are slipping all over this ice. Finally a whistle for an Auburn player sitting on the puck, but that last 2 minutes, I feel like we saw 3 or 4 Auburn players lose an edge.
Absolutely, and it was also a great penalty kill overall by the Dogs, as the Tigers spent the better half of the last minute there not in their zone at all. It was really more in the neutral zone, and even spent a lot of time in the Georgia offensive territory. So just a great kill there by the Dogs, and tough for Auburn, but now here in the Georgia offensive zone once again.
100%. I mean, after the first 30 seconds of that power play, it didn't even really look like a power play, in all honesty. Offensive zone face-off, like you said, won by the Dogs. Deflection out in front, juicy rebound, and that caught an Auburn player up high. Charlie Kemner looked like he took that one in the face. We hope he's all right. As Sam Catalano waves for the trainers, but now one coming off the Georgia bench. Scary, scary stuff.
Just took a tough shot there from Moore. Right to the face, I assume. Luckily he has that cage, but even then, it can still stun you. So he's on the ground there for a minute.
Wonder if maybe it caught him under that cage in the neck area.
I sure hope not.
Yeah, absolutely not, but somewhere up around that area for sure. He's sitting up now, so that's good to see. All the players watching on. As he makes his way up, the players and fans cheering him on. Good to see him skate off on his own power. So
yeah, good to see Kemner skating off on his own.
100%. Joseph Gladstein will take his spot as the puck will stay in the Auburn zone. 14-15 left in the second period. The Dogs with 1 goal in this frame. Moore has his shot blocked, this time down low. Tried to get it back from Conway. Weren't quite on the same page. This Georgia forecheck, though, looks relentless this period. Icing waved off, and Georgia bench is not very happy about that. Understandably so, in all honesty. Cronin trying to make something happen for the Tigers, but he's stymied by Tyler Stewart. Big Truman Hagen works it to Parente. He finds Conway. And once again, Auburn content to just send it in deep and go for a change. It was Catalano sending it in deep that time. Long pass for Moore. Finds Parente. He's skating around the net. Pass out front. Weren't really any Dogs in the area. and Auburn gets control. Daly wanted that puck on this near side. Little frustration not getting it. Save made by Testino, rebound in front, and another save from Testino as Dubé was trying to get in on the rebound action. Puck sent in deep by Patillo. A couple of Auburn players colliding. And a strong forecheck from the Tigers, and a chance for what looked like a 2-on-1 there, and instead just an off-balance shot. Really not high-quality chances from the Tigers.
Yeah, I think he was slipping on that and wanted to just send it in deep and maybe get a chance for another player, but even then losing a 2-on-1 is really tough there. Unfortunate slip and fall.
Bulldogs whistled for offsides.
So going back and forth a lot here so far in the first 7.5 minutes of this second period. Neither team truly dominant, though Auburn has had some of the best offensive opportunities they've had all game.
Kind of reminds me of the start of the first period. Back and forth, no team with really organized zone time, and Auburn putting shots on goal, and then it was around this time in the first period where we saw Georgia start to take control as there's an icing.
You're absolutely right, and I think part of that has to do with the stamina of both these teams. We've talked about how deep Georgia is. Sending all their guys out there, maybe a few tired legs, especially after a game on Friday, then a big Saturday. So you just got to keep the stamina going throughout the entire 20-minute period. So we'll head over to the other face-off dot.
Big Saturday, like you said. I'm sure a ton of these players for both sides were at the game yesterday. The Georgia players leaving that game much happier than these Auburn players, that's for sure. As McAvoy tries to gain the zone, Eberle quick to pounce just inside the neutral zone. Hunzenberger and a battle, another Auburn player on the ice. Worster that time. Eberle right back on the puck. Gannon tries to work it up the boards. Auburn had a man in the zone, so had to wait, and that made Duchemin lose the puck. Another slip from Auburn. Didn't see it at all in the first period. Zamboni came out between periods. Georgia had no problems, but Auburn seems like they do. And here's another icing.
As both teams still, as we've been harping on, looking to get some offensive zone time. Now we're back in Auburn territory. I think a few good passes is all they are away from getting a goal. They just got to find an open man and get a really good shot. Maybe one high up on Testino, but looking to get a face-off win first.
Condon wins the draw, save from Testino off the stick of Patillo. Joshua Hockey out there for Auburn. Stretch pass, shot from Punzenberger over the bar. Almost a fifth for Georgia. And they're ready to come right back at Auburn. Knoll mishandles. Spills back out to Gannon. Finds Knoll. Big hit in the middle, and now some space for Gannon. Walks in, fires. Looked like off the shoulder of McMaster. May have caught some pipe as well. Another save from McMaster off the stick of Knoll. Now Eberle with it. Eberle gives it to Burnett. Burnett to Knoll. No goal as that puck was spilling right around the goal, and I think the Georgia fans might disagree a little bit. Nevertheless, still 4-0. Gannon looking for the deflection from Mazzaros, and now official's hand is in the air, and Auburn's going to go to the box, I believe, for tripping. So another power play for the Dogs. We're 1-for-1 so far today. We'll see if they can keep the 100% rate with a power play goal here.
And that's really unfortunate for Auburn, as they were allowing a lot of shots in that zone time right there for Georgia, like 3 or 4 really good scoring chances there. Now it'll be interesting to see down a man if Georgia can go off of that and net one in.
Not sure who's going to the box yet. Taking a while to get someone in there. Looks like it's going to be 77. That's Andrew Bullock. So power play for the Dogs. Conway, the center to start things, with Parente and the 2-goal scorer McAvoy as the forwards, as we get a whistle.
Looked like trying to tip the puck off of the board, but it ended up hitting Punzenberger on the bench.
Dogs going with 4 forwards. Evan Moore joining the 3 I just mentioned, along with defenseman Jack Gannon. And not surprising that Gannon, the first defenseman on this power play, has 4 assists this season. .140 left on this power play. A bit of a loose pass, but the Dogs regain control. Cross ice for Parente. Looking for McAvoy on the far side, but it was defended well. Conway works it across for Moore, who gives it right back to Conway. Conway walking in, stymied by Daly. And Auburn regains the puck, and now an odd man rush with Tinshirt, but he loses out to Gannon. Evan Moore working the breakout as we approach 1 minute remaining on this second power play for Georgia. McAvoy leaves it for Parente, back to McAvoy out in front, tried to go with the backhand. Gannon to Conway, he has space and time. Backhand from McAvoy, saved by McMaster, looking for that hat trick. As the Dogs will go for a change, 45 seconds left in this 2-minute power play.
About a minute ago, that was a great back check by Jack Gannon, getting his body in front of Tinshirt, not allowing a shot there.
Absolutely. Shot gobbled up by McMaster off the stick of Evan Moore, and we get a whistle with exactly 30 seconds left in the Georgia power play.
Seems to be a much quicker moving second period than it was in the first.
Absolutely.
Part of that having to do 0 goals being scored in this period, or 1 goal being scored in this period as opposed to 3 being scored. A lot more penalties though already this period.
Georgia wins the face-off. Now 2 defensemen on the ice with Poole and Hagen. Hagen setting up for that slap shot. Instead, Poole goes down low. Good stick by Auburn. And they'll send it all the way down with Runchi. Hagen goes to retrieve. 10 seconds remaining on the power play. Georgia leading in the shot department now 20-14, starting to take some control. Hagen going all the way by himself, tried to go 5-hole, but McMaster makes the save and covers for a whistle with 2 seconds left on the power play.
And some great handles there by Hagen, one of the better offensive defensemen on this team. Seen him deke and dangle a little bit this game already. That one trying to go 5-hole. But McMaster able to swallow that one up.
Hagen, a tough customer coming down the ice at 6'3". A lot to deal with. Auburn clears the zone and kills the penalty, and that'll be an icing, as that was just a couple seconds after Auburn got back to even strength, so the Killers will have to stay out there.
Yeah, like you're saying, would not have been icing if it was still an uneven man numbered. Now at even numbers, we're back in the Georgia zone.
Shot from Jake Green doesn't get through. Georgia fighting on the far boards. Good kick of the puck by Whitwer. Whitwer finds Green, backhanded chance, won't go. Another save from McMaster. Poole with a shot from the point, deflected out in front from Green, and he scores on the second effort. If you don't succeed, try again, and Jake Green picks up his first goal of the game as the Dogs lead by 5.
Jake Green has been so impressive this season. didn't get a whole lot of playing time last season. Now he's a regular part of this Georgia squad, and he has done exceptionally well, scoring in just about every game, getting a goal on Friday, now getting his first one here to make it 5-0 for the Dogs.
That makes it 3 for the season after just 1 last year. So taking advantage of the increased playing time, like you said. Tried to score on the deflection from the point shot from Poole and then got the rebound and slotted it home. 5-0 Dogs lead after a 9-2 win on Friday. Looking like a dominant weekend over the Tigers on the ice and on the football field. As Poole, the defenseman, trying to get things going. And with that latest goal, that's now 14 on the weekend for the Dogs. That's more points than Auburn scored on the football field yesterday with 13. But you know they're going to look for more and more. This Auburn team will give up goals. They gave up 15 to Tampa, so there are goals to be had. And the Dogs will love to take advantage. The captain, Robbie Whitwer, with it on the right wing. Turns on the brakes, waits for some help as his line mates were going for a change. And the fresh skaters do a good job of keeping the puck in. Evan Moore on the forecheck, and he's going to be whistled for a tripping on the delayed penalty. And now the Dogs touch the puck, and Auburn will go on the power play.
And it must be a little bit of announcer's jinx, because I was talking about how there really weren't any penalties in the first period, only 2 of them, 1 for each team, and now this is probably the 4th penalty we've seen in the second period, and still 6 minutes to go, so there could very well be many more. This one on more, as the Dogs will be down a man.
You successfully jinxed the goal situation, though, saying the Dogs had only scored 1 and then right away scored another goal, so that worked.
The announcer's jinx is real, folks.
It can be a good thing sometimes, too. Auburn wins the draw. Daly working this left point. Shots out in front, and a great job by Testino as shot after shot coming from these Auburn sticks. And now a 2-on-1 for the Dogs with Conway and Parente. Pass back to Parente, and a great save made by McMaster. It looked like he kind of just ran out of room there.
Yeah, Conway didn't feel like he had a good angle, especially with McMaster waiting right there, and another Auburn defenseman on him. That was number 8 on him. That was Patillo. So trying to pass it back to Parente, but Parente running out of room there. McMaster swallowing it up with his glove.
But huge for the Dogs to get that offensive zone face-off, force Auburn to bring it back the other way. 1:25 left on this power play as Auburn gains the zone, and Dubé was crashing in the slot, couldn't find him, and now pass goes all the way back down ice where McMaster will have to play it. 1:10 left on the power play now. No changes for the Dogs. Thought they might here in this situation with Auburn in their own end, but instead, the same killers out there. Gannon trying to keep Dubé from getting towards the net, but he does make his way all the way over there, stymied by Testino, and now a shot out in front by Tinchard, also saved by Testino, and he gets a whistle.
The Dogs been able to collapse on there, on the crease. Testino, though, with a couple of good saves in this penalty kill. On that first one there, he blocked the shot, and it sat right there in the crease for about a second before Jack Gannon was able to finally clear it, getting out to Parente for that potential 2-on-1.
17 saves for Ryan Testino. 50 seconds left in the Auburn power play. As Martin sends it all the way down, and there you see the speed of Brandon Ing. He can flat out fly. Eberle on the forecheck, and we've seen this aggressive play from the Dogs on the kill. They're not going to give up the zone with ease or even the neutral zone. They're going to make you work for every inch regardless of how many skaters they have on the ice. Franklin with it. Working against Martin, and Martin gains control of the puck. Ing trying to get there, but beaten to it by Runchi. Runchi behind the net. right to the glove of Duchemin. Goes cross ice for Runchi. That pass was awry though. And now Martin able to kill off the last seconds of the penalty. Another kill for the Dogs, who keep their 5-goal lead with just over 4 minutes to go in the middle period. Pass misses out front, and now Knoll gives it to Eberle. Back to Knoll, looking for Eberle across the ice. McMaster almost sending it off Eberle back into the net. Luckily for him, gets a friendly bounce and is able to gobble it up.
It almost bounced off the body of Eberle and into the goal. One thing about this Georgia penalty kill, though, is that while Testino's been making some saves, it hasn't been all Testino. It's really been about this Georgia defense not allowing many great scoring opportunities. You're obviously going to give up some. That's just the nature of being down a man. But the good effort by Testino along with this Georgia D has been really crucial.
Quick shot off the faceoff from Ryan Bailey, saved by McMaster. Dogs trying to keep it in the zone, but now Auburn exits. They send it in, going all the way around the boards, back to the stick of Bailey. He's thumped by Joshua Hockey. He definitely felt that one. But Bailey's back on his feet, tried to make a move, but lost his footing. And now some action behind the net. My goodness, a takedown from number 7, Charlie Kemner. It's Kemner and Bailey going at it back there, and the refs have a lot to sort out.
You don't see many true fights in this league. However, that one was about as real as it gets. I'm not exactly sure what happened to cause the anger between the two players, but they were going at it there behind the goal for a minute there.
I mean, that was a WWE takedown by Charlie Kemner on Ryan Bailey. Bailey lost his helmet. Looks like Kemner did too. And we'll see how long they go to the box for.
So a lot to work out for the refs here, as they're talking to both captains of this team.
Probably just trying to ask to keep anything like that from happening again. Not surprising. Like we said, Deep South's coldest rivalry. Auburn not too happy about Friday's game. Definitely not happy about how things are going so far. Probably not happy about yesterday's football game either. And maybe starting to get a little bit frustrated. Looks like they're going to call double minors, so 4-minute penalty.
So both
and
men
will be 4-on-4.
Both men will be in the box for the remainder of this second period, and then another 45 seconds in the third.
So 4-on-4, or actually it'll be 5-on-5.
And I love 4-on-4 hockey because you just have more room to work with and a lot more shot lanes and passing lanes. And so I'm a little upset that we don't get to see some 4-on-4 hockey, but that's okay.
Would have loved to see it too, but with a 5-goal lead, probably not the worst thing in the world, as McMaster gloves Moore's shot. Probably not the worst thing in the world with a 5-goal lead. 4-on-4, more scoring chances. Last thing you want to do is help Auburn get back into this game because they've showed 5-on-5 they really can't create all that much. Zara's trying to fight to win that face-off. Took a second for anyone to really gain control. As Evan Moore fights in the corner, and now Auburn comes away with it. The super speedy Daly loses out, and Georgia sends it the other way. Auburn with it cycling around with Worcester. And now Dubé with it. Dubé looking for Daly, passes behind him though, and the puck leaves the zone. Evan Moore with it, didn't get a ton on that shot, and McMaster covers with 2:30 remaining in the second period.
2.5 to go. Auburn still scoreless here, as they will likely want to go into the locker room and maybe draw something up that can get them a goal here so they don't walk out with a goose egg at the end of this game.
You know that Testino and this Georgia team would love to keep that 0 on the board for Auburn the rest of this game. Baird pinching in. Auburn flips it out. And do we have a penalty on Auburn? Looks like maybe a slash. Not sure yet. We'll wait to see. But Auburn is going to the box. Ryan Good, the defenseman. So a power play for the Dogs. 2:17 left in the period. So almost the rest of the period playing with an extra skater. See if Georgia can further increase this 5-goal lead. Conway, Parente, McAvoy, Gannon, and Moore, the skaters for the Ice Dawgs. 4 forwards. Moore with the shot off the post. Had McMaster beat. Rebound came out to Conway. And now a fight in the far corner as Gannon keeps the zone. Back to Evan Moore. He fires again. Save made by McMaster. Georgia with a good start to this power play. Evan Moore at the forefront. Swings it around for Gannon. He's asking for it right back. Wants the one-timer. Instead chooses to settle the puck. Conway back on that side with Gannon and Moore a little close together. Gannon skates away from Moore and now gives it to him. A wrister save made by McMaster. 3 shots from Evan Moore to start that power play.
And that first shot that went off the post got every inch of it. It really squared up on the post, one of the loudest I think I've heard at least in a minute. And so now a new line will come on for both these teams. Getting some fresh legs out there. Huge for Auburn, down a man.
For Georgia, it's 2 defensemen now, Poole and Hagen, with Mazzaros, Knoll, and Punzenberger. Puck rings around behind the net. Hagen came to protect the point, but puck goes back right where he came from and all the way down. 50 seconds remaining on this power play. Dogs trying to get the puck back in the zone where they've spent almost the entirety of this power play. As Hagen throws on the brakes, looking for some help. Now over to Knoll, but Auburn pokes it away with Worcester. 45 seconds left in the period, 30 in the power play. Mazzaros to Hagen, and it's whistled for offsides. .41 seconds to go in the period, 25 seconds to go in the power play. Dogs leading 5-0 with 2 goals here in this second period. Poole sends it in off the glove and helmet of Pacuris. Dogs trying to keep it in the zone, a reverse hit, and a little extra after that, and things are getting chippy. Callan Daly with the reverse hit on Zach Knoll, and after the hit decided to take a shot at the back of his head. And Knoll's got some words for him, and Truman Hagen's backing up his teammate. And I don't think the Dogs will have any problem with Truman Hagen getting sent to the bench for protecting his teammate. As they bang their sticks on the board, Knoll took a shot to the back of the head. The hit was one thing, but really no reason for the extra afterwards. As hit me with your best shot rings around the arena. Not surprising to see things getting chippy the way this weekend's gone. Rivalry that's been pretty one-sided this weekend. And if Auburn can't do anything about it on the scoreboard, they're going to try and do it some other way. No room to sit in the Auburn box right now. It's a party in And now both teams are getting sent to their benches as the officials speak with the captains, Whitwer and Duchemin, the assistant captain for Auburn, because their full captain, Callan Daly, is one of the many in the Auburn penalty box. Long talk between the officials and the captain for the Dogs and one of the assistant captains for Auburn, trying to keep things from getting out of hand. 8 seconds to go still on this Georgia power play, and then we'll see how everything's sorted out in terms of skaters for each side otherwise. And now the Dogs in the box fake fighting with one another. That's Hagen and Bailey. So it looks like it'll be still 5-on-4. At least that's what it looks like. Yeah, so it'll still be just a regular power play, but a crowded penalty box. 2 in the box for the Dogs, 4 for Auburn. Just 24.8 seconds to go. We'll see if these two teams can make it that much time without anything else sparking up. Conway on for the face-off for the Dogs. We get a couple whistles. And now we're ready for puck drop, as Auburn takes it into the zone shorthanded, saved by Testino with the stick. And it looks like Conway never saw that one coming from Runchi. 6 seconds left. Parente has it hop off his stick, and the horn will sound for the end of the second period. Eventful. Goals, penalties, a little rough stuff, but the Dogs lead it 5-0 after 2. We'll be back after a break.
Hello and welcome back to the Ice Forum here in Duluth, Georgia. Riley O'Neal, Nick Eriksen, and then Will Hopkins and Rim Grimsley up in the booth. Now, Georgia's up 5-0 going into the third period. Auburn seemingly starting to get frustrated, Nick.
Yeah, lots of penalties and lots of really bad mistakes that are not helping their cause to get back into this game. They are getting frustrated that they can't skate an up and down fast game with Georgia, and of course it's starting to show emotionally on the ice.
And in your eyes, what is Georgia doing well that they need to keep doing in the third period to stay undefeated and pick up a win against Auburn?
I think Testino on the defense has been stellar. No mistakes and no really big opportunities. Testino has really shut down everything. And the key to finishing this game strong is just to keep up the defense, Testino to continue to do his thing, and Georgia should ride this one out.
Well, the defense has been stellar, so has the attack for Georgia, especially Evan Moore, and our very own Rim Grimsley caught up with him just a moment ago, so let's toss it to that.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rim Grimsley. I'm here with Georgia forward Evan Moore. Evan, you got a goal in the first period. What'd you see on that?
Kind of just walked in. Goalie had a lot of net open, so just ripped it high.
Absolutely. And keeping Auburn at 0 so far, what's the key to keeping them at 0 for the rest of the third?
I think we're pretty in their head right now. The boys are buzzing. Keep moving, some shots on. Goalie's a little shaky, so just keep going.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good luck out there in the third.
Thank you.
Wise words there from Evan Moore. Thank you to Ren for getting that interview. Now we're going to toss it upstairs. Will Hopkins and Rim Grimsley in the booth for some more third period action coming up next.
Welcome back. Will Hopkins and Ren Grimsley here as we are just about ready for the third period of play. 5-0. Georgia leads it with goals from McAvoy and Green in that second period to extend this lead. And we saw things start to get a little bit chippy. How does Georgia keep their composure?
Yeah, I think it's a lot to do with what Robbie Whitworth said during the first intermission interview. Not getting cute, just doing things the right way, not trying to get too fancy, and certainly not wanting anyone to get injured or get any sort of game misconduct that might have them suspended for a length of time, whether it be the rest of the game or next game or anything like that.
Definitely. Still busy penalty boxes for both teams, but we are back to 5-on-5 hockey. But crowded penalty boxes for sure, and wouldn't be surprised if we see some more chippiness. Fourth line will start things for Georgia. That's Whitworth, Bardo, and Green as they try to get everything in the boxes sorted out. Defensemen will be Baird and Poole as the pairing to get things started.
Some small penalty boxes with a lot of guys in them.
And
somehow 5-on-5.
in NHL, we're used to seeing the boxes on the other side of the ice, but here, right next to the benches, so they're probably getting an earful from the benches in addition to the guys in the opposing boxes. As Georgia looks to take control early in this period, Bardo sends it in. Whitworth chasing after it, and now Baird at the point. Jake Green behind the net, loses it. Off an Auburn skate and only as far as Leighton Poole. Up in the air, it looks like Ryan Good held onto that a little bit longer than what is allowed. Testino decides to play the puck after having it in his glove and keep things moving. Green, one of the goal scorers, sends it in the far corner. Puck dangerous out in front, as Moore that time was trying to find Baird. Now Auburn trying to get some zone time. Forechecking hard. Good hit by Baird up against the boards. Now Tenshirt playing it from his knees. And no icing as that one's fired on net. Go down as a save for McMaster. And once again, a puck off the ceiling.
And I predict we'll see a pretty sloppy third period. It's a 5-goal lead. I imagine Georgia feels like they have a pretty good lead and can do as much as they want and maintain the lead, but
Pulls to it. And another frozen puck from McMaster.
another quick shot there. That's, like I was saying about being sloppy, I imagine sending any pucks in at the goalie that they can, see what they can do.
Yeah, in this third period, perhaps less worried about quality of chances and more just quantity. Shots on net, shots on net. Auburn taking it back the other way, onside. That was Catalano. He's back on the puck now, working behind the net, out in front. Nothing doing for Cronin. Now Bailey back with it. Was looking for Knoll, but passes beyond him and goes all the way down for icing.
A lot of stoppages so far this third period. A couple of saves by goalies. And now an icing there. As it looks like all men now are out of the boxes for both teams. They remain 5-on-5 the entire time.
Yeah. And now lines more back to normal. That was something they had to deal with for a good 5 minutes or so, going back to last period. Shot whistles wide, kept in the zone though. Shot from the point, deflected out front, puck brought away by the Dogs. Now another point shot, kick save and a beauty from Testino. He's been fantastic tonight. Bailey turns on the Jets. Enters the zone all by himself on the one-man breakout. Regains control of the puck. Great pass out in front. Mazzaros couldn't quite tip it home. Mazzaros and Knoll battling in that far corner to keep things alive for the Dogs. 4 minutes played here in the third period. Auburn working it in with Daly. Daly has it blockered aside by Testino. Back on it, though, is the Auburn captain. Another save from Testino. Pushed aside to the far corner. And Punzenberger plays back to Mazzaros, whose pass goes beyond Gannon. Kemner with it now. He loses it. Icing waved off. Auburn not thrilled with that. Free puck for Punzenberger. Finds Gannon as Georgia looks to get organized. Truman Hagen looking for Eberle. McAvoy, the 2-goal scorer, fighting over there, and the Dogs almost caught with too many men there. Good job by Gannon to get to the bench. And now big Truman Hagen carrying the puck. Drifts in, fires, saved by McMaster. Punzenberger kind of running into McAvoy there. Back to Punzenberger, though. Free puck in front for Truman Hagen. In the centerman's position, the defenseman, his backhand went wide. Big hit in the corner and some pushing and shoving. The puck comes back to McAvoy. Eberle slaps at it. David Eberle and Wyatt McAvoy keeping things alive for the Dogs. And Martin can't quite keep it in the zone. Great shift for Georgia, though. McAvoy, Punzenberger, and Eberle with some extended zone time. Truman Hagen, the defenseman, at the forefront of things offensively there as well. Auburn gets it out, but just as far as Hagen, not even past mid-ice. Skates past one man, has his shot kicked away. Saved by McMaster. Punzenberger battling. Green leaves it for Hagen, has his shot saved. McMaster, a busy man here over the last few minutes. And now we're seeing the speed of Auburn. One-man breakaway. Good save by Testino. That was number 9, Alex Duchemin, trying to get something going for Auburn. He regains the puck now. Great block that time by Georgia, and it looks like Whitwer, the captain, paid the price. Barely makes it to the bench as Testino makes a save. Hope that Whitwer's okay, putting his body on the line for the team. Talked to him yesterday, said he loves getting in front of one for the boys. Hagen gloves that one away from possibly going into the net. Saucer pass to Green, who tried from Parente. And for McMaster, got to be happy with his start to the period. Would like to see less shots, but he's done well when they've come. Pass deflected, doesn't make it through to Baird cleanly. Now Conway hustling on the forecheck. Parente loses an edge, and now a 3-on-2 chance for Auburn. Pass out in front and a good stick from Ryan Testino to poke check that one away. Graham Baird behind the net, whiffs on the pass. Puck loose out in front, shot just wide, and traffic right in front of Testino. Dogs getting away with one there. Puck is dumped but not out of the zone, now off the top of the glass, and we get a whistle with 12:10 remaining in the final period.
No real chances for Auburn there. Still working on that as they'll have a completely new group of 5 come out. That includes some of their goal scorers, including Jake Fleet out there.
Always got to keep an eye on Jake Fleet. Gavin Cronin, the centerman, also a problem for Auburn. Mazzaros helps bring the puck out, and now Zach Knoll coming in with Ryan Bailey. Knoll back on it, has Bailey behind him. Does a good job to keep the puck. Those two working real well together. Pass out in front past Mazzaros, but Baird there. Bailey looking for the deflection, and now the wraparound. Can't quite get it done. But it's been a good shift for him for sure. Testino goes to Baird. Baird, a lot of playing time so far in this third period. As Auburn sends it back in, had to come touch up. Did Cronin. Georgia works it back out. Leighton Poole takes it himself. Gets back to it in the corner as Mazzaros covers up his spot, and that one is in. Goal for the Dogs from Ryan Bailey on the assist from Leighton Poole. And the Dogs have their first of the third period. It's 6-0.
Ryan Bailey, his first goal of this game. We saw him get a double minor earlier, now making up for it with a little goal as he was cutting towards the crease. And able to just get it through the arms of McMaster, who's never really able to locate it, but a tight squeeze there as it goes into the back of the net. Makes it a 6-0 lead with 11-11.
Third goal of the season for Bailey, 5th assist for Leighton Poole, who really did a great job to carry that puck all the way from his defensive zone, work around a couple of defensemen to regain that puck in the corner as well. These defensemen for Georgia really can't handle the puck. And how big of an advantage is it when your defensemen are so skilled on the puck?
Oh, I mean, such an advantage. I mean, you can find those passing lanes from up top, not always having to settle for a slap shot from the blue line. And it really helps out your wingers, as I was saying, about finding those lanes. And then even you can create some different offensive sets, as we saw Hagen when he came down and was standing more where a center would usually stand, able to get a good shot off.
And it looks like Andrew Goldstein is going to come in for Ryan Testino, who gets some cheers. Testino going just about 50 minutes scoreless, a great job in net. And now Andrew Goldstein's first appearance as an Ice Dawg as he gets a round of applause for coming in, as does Testino for the shutout.
Yeah, the new goalie on the squad, getting his first action as an Ice Dawg with 10.5 to go.
Third goalie the Dogs have used this weekend. Speedy Ing out there for the Dogs right now. McAvoy out there maybe looking for the hat trick as Punzenberger goes down. McAvoy shoots and it's off the side of the net. Thought he might have had number 3 there. Gannon skates towards the middle of the ice. That puck's behind the net and somehow doesn't find it. That had goal number 7 written all over it.
Sat there for about as long as it could before someone was finally able to clear it out.
And going back to those defensemen being able to handle the puck, the wingers and centermen have to be conscious of that too, covering up for them when they go deep in the zone. As here's a chance for Auburn, but good defensive stick from Burnett. And we saw on that goal, had there been a rebound and Auburn had a breakaway, Mazzaros had occupied that defensive position. Just a full commitment from this team. McAvoy in the zone all alone. Now Punzenberger trailing behind. McAvoy loses out to Ryan Good, but the Dogs keep the puck in the zone. McAvoy fires, save made by McMaster. He's looking for that hat trick.
Oh, absolutely. And if I had a hat, I would throw it if he were to get that goal. Unfortunately, I do not. But, just a great, as we were saying, a whole bunch of guys with a whole lot of skills, a very versatile team, covering up for each other and helping each other out. A lot of really great team chemistry so early in the season, which is super awesome to see.
Auburn wins the defensive zone faceoff. Puck rings all the way around. Won't be icing. As Tyler Stewart gets to it. Finds his partner, Martin. Stewart, a forward last year, making the transition to defense this year. No icing. Played up the middle. Broken up, though. Looking for Whitwer. Whitwer, Green, and Bardo, the fourth line out there for the Dogs. Always providing good energy, especially the captain, Whitwer. A race for the puck, and Auburn was going to get there first. Goldstein did touch it anyways. Green can't play it around Dubé. Shot from the point, and Green makes his first save to a round of cheers from the Georgia faithful.
First save for Andrew Goldstein, getting it right on his chest and able to scoop it down into his glove. So far with 100% save percentage.
Yep, got to feel good to get the first one out of the way, and one that doesn't test you too much. Cronin wins the faceoff for the Tigers. He's back behind the net, fighting with Baird. And now Fleet sends it back the other way. Leighton Poole over there for the Dogs. Puck out in front, can't find an Auburn stick, and Georgia trying to get it and clear the zone, but a good forecheck from Fleet. Puck out in front as Cronin tried to spin around and shoot, couldn't do so successfully. Now Conway has it for Georgia. Stick handling, and his pass to Poole exits the zone, and now Georgia will have to touch up as it's sent back in. Good defensive play there from Baird. Parente on the solo mission of forecheck, almost runs into Declan Conway. And now the puck sent in deep, and Auburn goes for wholesale changes. Played off the boards to Conway. Auburn getting there, some physicality from Evan Moore. An Auburn player playing from the seat of his pants. Not a super organized segment of this game right now. Everything kind of all over the place. See if Georgia can settle things down with 6:40 remaining in the third period. Dogs on top, 6-0. Conway asks for a change. Green's pass directly to Auburn's Duchemin, but now Georgia quickly back the other way. Parente with the centering pass. Green sends it in deep. Defenseman Baird getting in on the action. He spins around looking for someone out front. Both defensemen close to the net. Baird and Leighton Poole. And now Poole on the puck. Passes to Mazzaros. Can't settle it though. And now Kalen Daly fires just high and wide of Goldstein's glove. Georgia could have numbers coming back the other way as Knoll finds Mazzaros. Back to Knoll, trying for the deflection. Second shot also saved by McMaster. Knoll's been on that top line today, and he's really looked comfortable there. He's combined well with Mazzaros, combined well with Bailey. Really shows the depth of this roster. I know we keep harping on it, but it really is impressive. Georgia trying for number 7. McMaster falls over. He's sitting in the net. If Georgia can get a shot off. Knoll tried for the deflection. McMaster now settled, but had a chance there with him on the seat of his pants. Jack Gannon hustling back, and what a play by Jack Gannon. We've seen him on the back check multiple times today, and he's been fantastic getting back into plays. That one just misses the net. But Gannon's speed, a real weapon. Knoll with it from the tight angle, has that shut down by McMaster. Fighting to keep it alive against 2 Tigers. Gannon can't quite keep it in. And now Fleet with it, blockered away by Andrew Goldstein.
And I know Goldstein's thankful for Jack Gannon's incredible back checking. That would have been a 1-on-0 and a potential chance for Auburn.
4:30 remaining as it's fired back in. Burnett over by the bench, and I think the Dogs pretty lucky not to get away with not having too many men there, as the puck went over towards the bench while they were making a change, which is always a bit of a scary situation, but nothing called as the puck flies out of play.
Flying into the stands, luckily not hitting anybody. And we got the puck back. About 4 minutes to go. This team still with a lot of energy. Be interesting to see if Auburn can get one last push and maybe get a goal in before the clock expires.
You know Georgia wants to finish strong. Keep that 0 on the scoreboard for the Tigers. Here comes McAvoy, centering pass looking for Ing. McAvoy is lively today. He's skating all over the rink as Eberle has it now. Gets it back from Hagen. Eberle gives it back to the defenseman, and now Ing out in front. His shot's kicked away. And another puck out of play, and an Auburn fan who wasn't watching the ice almost had that one hit him in the noggin.
I'm not even sure he realizes what just happened.
I don't think he did. Always got to keep your eye on the ice.
That's the thing about this team, though, with guys like Ing and with McAvoy, 2 new guys who bring a lot of energy and a lot of speed. You can encourage other guys to bring a lot of energy as well.
Another save from McMaster, and I think it's pretty safe to say this has been his best period of the game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing more to it. He's been getting some really good saves that he wasn't able to make in the first and second periods.
Auburn wins the draw, and now carrying it the other way with Franklin. Dogs just ready for anything Auburn has to offer. Onside in the zone, and another skating problem for Auburn. We've seen them lose a ton of edges. Hasn't really been a problem for Georgia, so I don't think it's fair to blame the ice. As Franklin gets bumped by Ing. Some physical play in the far corner. A couple of guys hitting the ice. Georgia doesn't want Auburn to leave here without a couple bumps and bruises. Eberle with it, looking for some help. Finds it in McAvoy.
Delayed penalty on Auburn. That was on number 9, Duchemin, for a late hit.
So Goldstein leaves his net for the extra skater. but Auburn touches the puck, so the 6-on-5 doesn't really come to fruition, but the last 2:38, 2 minutes of which will be played with a Georgia power play.
And you can see as soon as Duchemin looks like hit the man, I'm not sure if they'll call a late hit or boarding or something like that. You can see the whole Georgia bench looking over to the refs, wondering why there was no call, and then a few moments later there was. So the first penalty in this game, or excuse me, in this period, since we had weird numbers at the beginning of the period after the double minor by Bailey.
Georgia already has the touchdown. Can they get the extra point? Take this one 7-0. As shot from Bardo just misses the net upstairs. Truman Hagen out here to start this power play. He's been on the ice a ton the past few minutes. Ice Dawgs going with 2 defensemen, as here's the other one, Leighton Poole. He can't get his shot to go, but a good job by Hagen at the point to keep it in. Auburn fans on it, and Hagen says thank you very much. Dogs continue this zone pressure. Pass out in front, and Jake Green tried to put that one home. Couldn't get great wood on it. And now a chance out in front. Bardo was all alone. But Whitwer couldn't quite get it to him. Deflection off an Auburn stick takes that puck just wide. And finally for Auburn, a bit of a rest as the puck leaves the zone. Hockey goes for a change among some other Auburn players. Poole tries to dump it in, but instead hits it off the ceiling with 49 seconds left on the man advantage.
And it was a great shot by Poole earlier. That got tipped by Whitwer, bounced just right outside the post, maybe by about 2 inches or so. Nearly getting that 7th goal. With about a minute and a half to go, we'll see what happens.
See if the Dogs can get one more. 43 seconds to go on the power play. And now a minute, 15 seconds to go in the game. Georgia won 9-2 on Friday, up 6-0 here on Sunday. And another whistle for the puck hitting the ceiling.
There's a chance instead of getting a touchdown, it might have been 2 field goals to bring us to 6-0, but
Want that extra point, though.
we might get that extra point.
I think Georgia, though, will be caring more about keeping that 0 on the board. Shutout would feel real good.
I imagine so. Knowing Coach Camp, he's a very not flashy guy. Probably would just rather have the 0 than try and get any unnecessary goals and make mistakes.
Moore looking for Parente. Puck comes back to him. Now Bailey with it. Shot fired by Conway, saved by McMaster. As Moore fires it back in. Time expired on the power play, and now 33 seconds to go in the game. Parente tried to bank that one in off McMaster, couldn't quite get it done, and now Auburn breaks out with the speedy Fleet. Fleet fires a shot, kick save by Goldstein. Fans happy with his performance in his first real action as an Ice Dawg. And here comes Parente, 10 seconds to go. Fires a shot, save made by McMaster with Evan Moore creeping in for the rebound. That is fired into the bench. Hope everyone's okay over there. Looks like everyone's good, but that puck was fired into the stands.
There was definitely some velocity on that, heading towards some Georgia players who are not playing today. Alex Strauss able to get out of the way really quick. It was an impressive athletic performance from Strauss.
Not only was it high velocity, but there wasn't much arc on it. It was a line drive. 4.5 seconds to go. Georgia leading 6-0. Conway wins the draw. One last shot for the Dogs, and it finds the net. There's the extra point. Ryan Bailey with his 2nd goal of the period with just 1 second remaining. And the Dogs lead at 7-0, and the officials will run the last second, and that'll do it. Dogs on top 7-0 as they win this one, and they dominated really after that first period in the shot category, 51-26 in the end for a weekend sweep. We'll take a little bit of a break, have some final thoughts as well as an interview, and of course our 3 stars of the game as the Dogs take it 7-0.
And we're back here at the Ice Forum live in Duluth, Georgia. Nick, Georgia gets the win 7-0. That makes it a 16-2 run over these two games. What are your biggest takeaways?
Georgia came out firing these games, and it's really nice to see, obviously extending that winning streak, the undefeated streak, and the youth was really stepping out in these past couple games. It's really nice to see.
And obviously it is a team effort, but there's a couple of stars that really were, instrumental in securing the victory today.
Yeah, number one star I thought was Testino, the way that he was able to hold his ground in the net, get that shutout, 23 saves before ultimately getting the break in the third period. I also thought Ryan Bailey was excellent on the wing. I thought that the opportunities that he was able to create for his teammates and himself was great. He had 2 goals and 1 assist. And then, of course, I thought Wyatt McAvoy did a great job also on the wing, opening up lanes, passing, and ultimately also getting 2 goals. So the youth and Georgia as a whole today came out firing, and they were rewarded.
Defense was great, too. And then, of course, you can't forget about Evan Parente. Ren Grimsley, our very own reporter, was able to catch up with him post-game. Ren?
Hello, everybody. I'm Ren Grimsley. I'm here with Evan Parente. Evan, what did you see out there? What went well in this win today?
I think all of us just buzzing around. We have a fast team this year. We moved the puck, great chemistry, great starts of the year. I think Auburn has a good team. We just have a better one.
Awesome. Congrats again on the win. Hope to see you at the next one.
Awesome.
Thanks, Evan. Thanks, Ren. And thank you for watching D1 Hockey here on the D1 channel. The D3 game, UGA, the Ice Dawgs, and Georgia Southern, the Eagles, are going to be facing off in just a moment. Join us there.